Hello and welcome to A Slice of Pie. This is the first one of the year. We actually successfully posted the first video for the year for this channel. So yeah, that's an achievement. I do want to talk about a couple of big changes on this channel. One, computer. She is done. I had the thing facing the other way for the last episode. I didn't like the lighting. I think that the lighting we have here is much nicer, and so I'm going to keep the camera faced this way. I was thinking to set my screensaver to not turn on. Yeah. So, other than that, we are going to be resuming Let's Plays as soon as I get everything set up, because that's a process, and it's a process that I'm not going to undertake today. Probably, because unfortunately today, well actually fortunately today, I'm going to go see Gamer Guts after I've been recording and editing this stuff. So actually just recording it, I think I'm going to edit it out later. Speaking of editing though, we have officially migrated to Premiere Pro. I am just so tired of Video Studio, which is the program I was using before. I actually have Video Studio on here and I actually have to uninstall it. But Video Studio is by a company named Corel, and for many years on this channel it has worked pretty well. But I have sort of outgrown it, and my hardware has outgrown it. You see, where Premiere works with like everything, the Corel software doesn't seem to be working across all hardware. My laptop couldn't even install it, and my desktop, not only did it install it, but then it was like choppy. And for a processor of this caliber, that should not happen, especially because I'm reading off of my SSD, and everything should be pretty sweet with that, but it's not. So I went ahead, I went to Premiere, tried the 7-day trial, loved it. The last episode was actually edited in Premiere. So we are officially on the Adobe platform, and let me know what you guys think. I honestly think these are easier to edit with Adobe, and the actual quality is a bit better somehow. I'm not 100% sure. It's probably all in encoders. That being said, we do have a video coming out this Monday where I make a DIY test bench. There is time-lapsiness in there, and it's genuinely a nice edit. I actually do really like how that video came out. So that will be out on Friday. Also, next week I want you guys to watch this episode, or this series again, because we are going to reveal the theme for Nova. Originally I was going to do 3 themes and have you guys vote on it, but instead one theme stood out above the rest, and as I was designing, I was like, you know what, this is the one. This is definitely the one that I want to do, but also the one that has the most thought put into it. So we're going to go ahead and reveal that theme, because I gotta create all of the models and have you guys see that before we even get to work on there. Plus the liquid cooling loop is going to go in first, mainly because as of now, when this thing hits load, that fan is really loud. It's keeping things cool, but it is loud. And that's pretty much it for channel news. Now let's go into the actual tech news that you may have started coming for. Slightly Mad Studios, creators of Project Cars and Project Cars 2, are making a console, or so they claim, and they're saying it's going to challenge the next generation of consoles. That being said, I honestly don't believe Slightly Mad. I hate to say it, but I really don't. They are a lot of talk, and sometimes they just don't fulfill things. As someone who owned a Wii U, who was supposedly going to get Project Cars, and a Switch, which was also supposedly going to get Project Cars, I personally they say a lot, but they don't necessarily fulfill it. Project Cars is a good game, but Slightly Mad Studios is a lot of talk. And unfortunately, because they are a lot of talk, I just don't believe them at this point. And even if it does come to head, it's probably just going to be like a computer running Steam or Steam OS or a Linux build using OpenGL, and it's really just going to boil down to the fact that they're only going to have their exclusives on it, and that's it. Like, realistically, they're just cutting their own platform into pieces. Now, if they go the, well, we make realistic car simulators route, and they sell a bunch of realistic car simulator accessories for it, maybe for enthusiasts, but at the same time, Project Cars is going to be competing against other racing genres and companies with much deeper wallets. Now, we do have a rumor for next week that AMD is going to possibly be announcing the Ryzen 9 with 16 cores. That's pretty intense, especially because nothing about that says a new socket. That being said, that one is going to be clocked at around 4.7 gigahertz turbo, which makes a lot of sense because it's not going to be able to maintain as much heat as the new Ryzen 7 at 12 cores and 5 gigahertz. Now, that's impressive all on its own, and if you depend on frequency over cores, the Ryzen 7 would make more sense, but the Ryzen 9 definitely would be in a core class of itself. That being said, that mixed with the new Threadrippers, man, AMD's core count would be going up tremendously across the board yet again, and at a frequency close to 5 gigahertz. Whew. We're seeing some true competition here. Now, of course, these are rumors. This graphic, I'm actually leaving source down below, but this could be cool, or it could be a lot of fluff. That being said, it's kind of par for the course with AMD because they've been able to cram more and more threads into more and more I was gonna say space. They've been able to cram more and more threads into smaller packages. That is probably them moving to the 7nm process or even smaller than that. So it would make a lot of sense. Next generation consoles may have ray tracing. Now, some people were like, oh my God, they're gonna be putting in tensor cores and ray tracing cores. And I don't think so. I actually think what we're dealing with here is they're actually going to be using technology like Radeon Rays, which is software-based ray tracing. Turns out that ray tracing cores aren't even necessary for ray tracing in Battlefield, in Battlefield. So not only can the last generation Titan actually ray trace, it does it at the same performance as the 1080 Ti or the 2080 Ti. So with that in mind, consoles being able to ray trace, that sounds like it's pretty much a thing that will happen eventually. And that will help the technology actually get implemented across the board. Now, Nvidia news. We do have a bit of news. I didn't talk about it because it was like at the tail end and there was a lot muddying the water with this one. Apparently, Nvidia at the 2060 is actually going to split it into two different types, the GTX 1160 and the RTX 2060. This is because the 2060 won't be able to ray trace nearly as well. It won't get that RTX branding necessarily if it's not capable enough. That being said, they're going to have more expensive cards that put a little bit extra in there so that they can possibly do it. The funny thing about this is by splitting their line like this, they are possibly going to create a divide within a divide. And it's going to end up with a lot of Nvidia cards and a bit of confusion. That being said, if we get a GTX 1180, oh hell yeah, I'm buying it. Because I don't really care for the RTX features. I personally do not care to pay the extra money. So if they make an 1180 and it is cheaper, then yeah, that's absolutely okay. But knowing Nvidia, they're not going to do that because they like money. Everyone likes money. I mean, you need money to live. So, yeah, money makes the world go round, I guess. That or friendship and family, I don't know which. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed watching this video, you can leave a like, comment, subscribe. I enjoy doing these bite-sized dives into the news and news on the channel. One side effect of me actually having access to the entire Adobe suite is that I'm also going to have access to Animator, and as you saw from that other video that I was using Blender for 2D animation, Animator might be a little bit better for that. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm actually going to be doing some experimentation between next week's episode. Of course, you are going to have that video on Monday, and then the Monday after that, I think I'm going to actually put out the first build log for Nova. So essentially, we're going to have some videos in between for the next few weeks. I thank you guys again, Wolfie